What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the mess of the garage that I like to film videos out of. In all seriousness, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I have completely renovated the shop, or at least reorganized it, just to make it a little bit easier for when we're filming and doing projects. As you can see, Mustang is now here, the garage door is behind the camera, and we've got the E36 next to it. My whole goal or idea with this was basically, it was hard having the Stang right here and then having the E36 right here. I thought it would be easy because I could access the engine bays, but because of these pillars that are right here, I'm unable to basically open the doors and get around and carry new parts in, like having the transmission on over here and the 2JZ behind me, basically moving around, bringing parts in for it. It's kind of a nightmare, and I didn't want to damage this car any more than it already has been for the last 5 or 6 times this thing's been transported. So I think this is really good. I think that we're going to be able to bring stuff on through here. We may even be able to fit like maybe from like the headlight here back, like a car hood or something. And yeah, I think it'll be good. But today we're going to just basically do a little update on what's going on, what parts we've got for basically the 2JZ E36 swap. And I think we may do a little bit of housekeeping on a few things that I filmed before, that I think I want to address, so that way if any of you are trying to do this at home, you'll be able to kind of learn from my mistakes, because I want to be as transparent as possible. I have a good idea of most of the stuff, but I don't know everything, so if I'm doing something wrong, I would like to either own up to it, and also maybe you guys will know and you can tell me in the comments. So let's just, I think just get right on into it, and we will start showing you what we've done. So here we go. All right, and in today's video, I think what we're gonna do is we are gonna address some things that I put on this turbo wastegate RTEC setup that basically I may need to just clarify as to why I did it, and some things that I forget. So let's get on into that. So, how's the lighting?
A little dark.
Oh, you can cut for right now. All right, so in the last video when we were doing the turbo setup on the RTEC manifold, I forgot something that is very important for when you're putting these together. I don't want to say I'm not used to this style, but basically on the Garrett's and the RTEC manifold, RTEC is really cool. So they will actually give you a bunch of seals that will go on between the turbo and the RTEC manifold, and the whole point of it is, let me see if I can pull, they have basically these little seals that they have for different style turbos that go with the RTEC manifold and whatever turbo you're selecting. So these ones I believe would be for probably a Borg-Warner, maybe a Precision. The one that is for the Garrett is already in there. I did install that one. The whole point of that is it's basically the firing ring. So this thing's gonna have a lot of heat, a lot of exhaust gas coming on through. That's basically so this will actually have a proper seal and it's not going to blow your V-band out. You already saw how much of a pain in the butt this thing was in order to put on. So it wasn't really that hard to put on. It's more so just the fact of holding it up, doing everything by myself with my hands. You know, it wasn't the easiest, but that's on, that's installed. Now, there is a seal that goes on for the Garrett GVW45, basically the wastegate, and it will be this little guy. So basically this little seal comes and goes on right here, and in case you're wondering if this is the right one, this is basically inside. As you can see, this is the valve. This guy seals right there. They're basically good to go. Now I do believe though this seal, RTEC makes it to where it'll work with the Garrett wastegates. This seal actually comes with this blow-off valve. And what's cool is, let me set this down for a second. On the clamp that comes with the Garrett kit and on the actual seal, what Garrett has done is they actually have a QR code. I don't know if it will show up on camera, if you can see it okay. but there's a QR code here, and there's also a QR code on these bands. So if you ever need to basically reorder these in case they get damaged or you lose, or whatever happens to them, you can actually just scan the QR code. I believe it'll take you to their site, and you can order another one. But what's cool is it falls right into place. What I am gonna do is, we're gonna put it on this guy first. But as you can see, one sec, put it in sideways. Just like that. Proper seal. And now, we're gonna go like that, and just like that. Now I've got the proper seal in there, so now I'll make all the boost. It will not leak, make whistling noises, and I will not be sad, and I'll make lots of boost. Lots of turbo noises. And now we're gonna put this guy back on, and it's as simple as that. All right, we've got the wastegate back installed, we've got the V-band clamp on. I did snug it down quite a bit. I did remember we're probably gonna, I haven't installed a spring on this yet, because I'm not 100% sure which spring of those I need to use. I'll do the research on that later. But today I wanted to move along and try and button up some housekeeping items like I was talking about. So now I think we're gonna go to the elephant in the room. Remember when I was doing the drain on the bottom of this oil pan? So we're gonna try and retap and drill. I'm gonna try and drill up one more size, or hopefully to the size that those bolts are gonna be. I'm gonna try and retap, and I'm gonna pray to God this fixes it. Before that, I do wanna get the oil pan baffle and basically oil pan and pickup back on, because there's no reason for it to really be off anymore. And yeah, let's move along and get that done. So as you can see, I got the, words are hard to do. I say that in every video, I need to stop that. Okay, as you can see, I got the oil pan back on, the baffle and the pickup are back on. However, I kind of have been thinking about this, and now that it's on, I didn't bother putting new silicone back on it because I think what I want to do before this thing fires up, I'm kind of getting everything up for mock-up purposes so I can figure out what everything's going to fall. I want to fabricate what I need, but I've already talked about the welding situation, which we will discuss here in this video or the next video. And basically, I want to put a baffle in here that will work a little better in some oil control, because the last thing I want is to blow this motor because I'm drifting it and it oil starvation, which is still pretty hard for rear sump 2JZs, but these motors aren't exactly the cheapest, and they're still, I guess, they're still fairly plentiful. But I would rather not blow it up, if you know what I'm saying. So if I can do a little bit of insurance underneath here, we'll do that. But right now this thing is pretty much ready to get mounts on it and go in the car, honestly. Once I get the transmission adapter and the transmission, which is actually sitting right behind me, on it. Which that should be either the next video or the video after, I think. I want to make sure I have all my ducks in a row so we can get that taken care of and shoved on in. But yeah, now I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna try and re-drill these holes and try and get the turbo drain back on. So yeah, let's get after it. Okay, so after trying to figure out the thread pitch and everything else for this, I have determined that I do not have, out of the 7 drill bit kits that I have, it looks like I need like a 7/16 or 7/32 or something. Somewhere between a 3/8 and a 5/16, or a little bit smaller than a 5/16 to tap the damn thing. I've been messing with it for the past 30 minutes. I'm pretty much over it. We're not doing this today, but I wanted to be transparent about that as to why we're not doing it. But there is another elephant in the room that we need to discuss. So we'll start on a positive note. If you guys haven't seen over, I believe it's the community tab where I set up a poll for what engine we're going to put in this thing. I gave it a certain timeline, and from what I saw, there was an overwhelming vote to put a Barra motor in this car, which I'm super excited about. Now, obviously, I am building a 2JZ. I'm putting some nice parts on it too to make it last, and we're going to put an E36. That isn't exactly the cheapest project, so if you guys would be super great, please head over to angusauto.com and pick up a hat, pick up a shirt. We do have a shirt for this car coming, and it's not quite ready yet. I'm super excited about it. When it is ready, I will put a pre-order on it, but that pre-order will basically be, the shirts will probably be shipped by then, is how I'm going to try and work it out. I'll give you guys an update on it. I've wanted to do this, I think, since way back in high school, and most people that went to school would know that I have loved watching, Top Gear. I'm super into cars. I grew up watching Roadkill Garage, and I had a friend who had an old Mustang. That was one of the reasons I got mine. And I've had this car 8+ years, and all I want to do is save out. I mean, God, I think it's actually going to hit 9 years next month, which is crazy to think, and it's still on motor number 4, and it's still not running. But I came in to this shop with the intentions of being able to fabricate everything that I was going to be able to be needed this car. I wanted to teach myself how to weld. I wanted to be the guy that kind of knew enough to get around and be able to do everything, and for lack of a better word, get himself in trouble. But I can do wiring, I can do the engine stuff, I can do all of that. However, when I moved into the shop, I had the intentions of being able to weld. I asked that point blank when I was going to move in. I was told it was okay. I have the power supply, I have everything. I just needed the plug swapped. But because I was going to film it on camera in here and do everything else, I want to make sure that was okay with the landlord. Long story short, not on the landlord's fault. It's basic insurance. So not to get too much into it, I cannot weld in here. And because of that, it is going to make it very difficult, because now I have a really nice welder that I was super excited about that I got because it can do MIG, TIG, ARC. I got the Everlast one, in case you guys haven't seen it in the background, because everyone I've seen using it loved it. But basically, now that I can't do that, it's going to be hard to make motor mounts for this car. It's going to be hard to make intercooler piping for this car. It's going to be hard to do any sort of metal fabrication with this car. Pretty much everything. So I don't want to say this project is kind of dead in the water, but please be patient with me, and we're going to try and figure out a solution. I have a few ideas. It's just, we're about to hit winter here. So in terms of making most of those happen, it's gonna, in terms of like moving this car out and being able to take it to another location to get all the work done or anything like that, it's gonna be a little difficult. So please be patient with me, but we are gonna make progress on this, I promise. Nothing stops me from down the road getting the engine, at least building up the engine and doing that. Nothing stops me from doing that. And truthfully, we still have quite a bit of work to do on this guy. and we do have the 4Runner in case you guys haven't figured it out. I've just been trying to push that off a little bit because I've been wanting to get the engine to go in the V56 here for quite a bit, but I haven't forgot about this. I probably get asked every single week, multiple times, when are the shirts for the Mustang going to be made? When are you making shirts for the Mustang? They're coming. Please be patient. I'm doing my best. I work 50 to 60 hour weeks at work to make this happen. And I've been very grateful for you guys' support. It's changing my life, and please keep supporting me. It means everything. So on that note, I want to, again, thank you guys very much. I think we're going to close out the video here, and yeah, have a great day. Peace.